Enemy down!
Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now my first foray into the world of The Witcher was with Wild Hunt, and I'm ashamed to say that I have never had any past experiences with the first two games. Since watching the Netflix show, I've had a sudden urge to get back into the video game series, and I plan to start at the very beginning. After taking a look back at some of the original reviews for both the first and second games, and reading many opinions regarding the pros and cons of each, it wasn't just the story, gameplay and atmosphere that was being talked about. What really stood out was how well, or how not very well, The Witcher 2, the second installment in the series, ran on PCs. Released in May of 2011, then again as the Enhanced Edition 11 months later, all owners of the original copy received free upgrades to the Enhanced game, which featured over 10 gigabytes of new content that expanded the story, included all DLC, and fixed various bugs. That's all well and good, but you still needed a PC that could handle it, unless you opted for the Xbox 360 release. At first, a quick glance of the minimum and recommended system requirements wouldn't really put me at any unease. The recommended requirements don't sound too demanding, even for 2012 standards, and the minimum requirements, well, even better. But keep these in mind for future reference. It's clear why it gave hardware a hard time at higher settings. I think it looks fantastic now, so 2012 me would have certainly been in awe at the visuals, and as I admired my computer, which I believe featured a dual-core AMD A4 3300 APU at the time, would have weeped. Like with any PC game, it's important to manage your expectations when choosing
Battlefield Bad Company 2. Our old friend. Back in 2010, the gaming sphere was a little bit different to how it is now. For a start, if you wanted a game, you mostly went out to the shop and bought a physical copy, whether that was at GameStop, Game, Walmart, wherever. That's certainly what I did with Bad Company 2. I owned the physical disc, something that's quite rare these days. I mean, for me personally, I don't think I've bought a physical copy of a game for about 3 years now. Initial sales reports for Bad Company 2 were fantastic. Reported as 2.3 million copies sold, it was the top-selling March release title recorded in North America and Europe. And we're quite used to Battlefield titles releasing towards the October-November holiday window, end of the year. But by the end of that May, that same year, the game had shipped over 5 million copies. Again, consider when this game was released. That's a big number. In fact, that number outperformed EA's own expectations. By March 2012, the sales figures had breached 12 million. But I can't really find any accurate sales figures beyond that. I'm sure they've done a couple more million since, maybe. The game was no doubt an incredible financial success, but it was also a big hit with fans of the Battlefield franchise and also newcomers experiencing it for the first time. But why? What were the best features of Bad Company 2? I've got my own ideas of why I personally liked the game, starting with the most obvious, the destruction. The original Bad Company had destruction too, but it was the second game that really pushed that feature forward, and the fact that it had a great multiplayer element to boot only enhanced it. You could level entire buildings or blow holes in parts of them with grenade launchers. Tank shells would zip across the map and take out half a house. It was just such a cool experience to have back then. Over the years, Battlefield has taken that destruction mechanic, tweaked it, toned it down, increased it, and everything in between.
有時冇買咁得喎，所以我
嘿，你跌嘢喎！哇！我先啊，有時咪買過好唔好啊？